just keeping you on your toes for when I publish videos. A new kind of thing today. You guys ask really great questions, and sometimes I take the answer to type a very detailed response, and I think it'd be better to answer the questions in a video. So every time I get 3 or 4, worth talking about questions, we'll do one of these, which is questions from you. But first, I'd like to thank Mr. Patrick Armstrong for joining the Patreon supporter of the cause situation. Patrick, thank you so much. If you'd like to see what I have to offer, the link will be in the description, of course. And here we go. All right, first question comes from Benny McGee in Duluth, Minnesota. I'm just kidding. I don't know where Benny McGee lives. Hey Ryan, quick question. If I'm playing a D chord and I put my pinky on the baby E string 5th fret, is it still considered a D chord since the E string 5th fret is an A? Here we go. Check this out. He's talking about this. We got a D, right? Several times you'll run into the situation where you put your middle finger on B3 and put your pinky finger up on E5. Right? I'm thinking of Just Breathe right now. I'm not, maybe, yeah. Yes, Just Breathe, and others. But anyways, yes, the E string 5th fret is an A, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, but the notes in a D chord are D, G string 2nd fret is an A, ta-da, B string 3rd fret is another D, and E string 2nd fret is an F sharp. So adding another A and eschewing your F sharp, which is the 3rd of your D chord, just makes it a D chord with an extra A and no F sharp, or a D super power chord. It's only roots and 5ths, so this is technically a power chord, but it's also just a different voicing or a different arrangement of the notes of the D chord. And it's also not major or minor, because this F sharp note, when turned into an F, makes it a D minor, right? So if we have neither F nor F sharp, then we have a D chord which is neither major nor minor, or it's both. Get together with a friend and play a regular D chord while the other one plays this one, and then play a D minor chord while the other one plays this one, and you will see that they both sound great, and this one will magically transform between major and minor in your head as you do that exercise. Good question, Benny. From Buddy Pesofiga. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, buddy. Do you ever go back on your YouTube channel to quickly relearn songs you may have forgotten to play over the years? Thanks for the lessons, Ryan. You're welcome, buddy. Yes, I do. Typically in about, half a day after I make the video, in one ear and out the other. But thanks to the magic of having videos of it, we can have, some repository of the information. And yes, I do go back, and a funny thing happened while Nick and I were jamming once. He'd learned a song off me, and then he taught me how to play the song that we were going to play, because I had completely forgotten. So I taught him, and then he taught me, and then there was another one that neither of us remembered, and yeah, we went and rewatched my video of the song so that we could then play the song. But once you learn it, it's in there, right? Like, even if you forget about it. So if you've got this song you love to play and you just forget how to play it, the next time you learn it, it'll go quicker, because it's in your bones somewhere. It's in your tendons, right? And then if that happens a few more times, you'll probably remember it forever. Thanks for the question, buddy. Is Duluth even in Minnesota? I don't know. Anyways, from Don Mega 666. I'm a real beginner. I'd appreciate a little more talk about the strumming patterns. Okay, totally. Yeah, and you'll notice that I don't talk about strumming patterns very much unless it's like critical to the point of the song, which it very seldom is, because if you're in the right time signature being how many beats are in a measure, and 95% of the time in rock music anyways, the time signature is either 3 or 4 or 6 or 8, but they're divisible, so 3 and 4 is all that we need to talk about. And that's to say that when you play a chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, it's either 4 or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Or 3. Now, there are strum patterns that work in 3 and strum patterns that work in 4, and you can play any strum pattern that you like as long as it's a 4-1 if the song's in 4, and as long as it's a 3-1 if the song's in 3, and it will fit just fine, again, unless the strumming pattern is the thing that makes the song the thing, which it really seldom is. It is sometimes, but the point is that your right hand is where all the you all the you in the guitar playing comes from. If you put your fingers down in a chord, and had a robot strum the chord, it could be you putting your fingers on the guitar, or it could be Eric Clapton, or it could be Stone Gossard, and it would sound like the same exact thing every time. But all of your expression comes from your right hand. So if I were to play Alive, it's going to sound different from the way you play Alive. And it's not so much because of the way you put your fingers on the thing, because there's only one place to put your finger on the string, and because we're not playing a fretless guitar, there is no difference between here or here. And okay, yeah, there's the wiggling, so a little bit of your expression comes from your left hand, but it's so much about your right hand. And the reason I don't want to tell you how to strum the guitar is because personally, nobody told me how to strum the guitar. I just did it, listened, liked it, didn't like it, changed it, kind of copied my favorites. So I would bet that if I played Alive, it would sound more like when Stone plays Alive than if Eric Clapton played Alive, because I don't think that Stone Gossard is one of Eric Clapton's idols. The point is, I want you to just strum however in the heck you want to strum, because that's where the guitar playing becomes you. However, for beginners, it's good to pick one strumming pattern to get so good at that you can do it, upside down with your eyes closed in a cave. And a good one to start with is down, 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 up, down. That one's easy to digest. And pick a song in 4/4, whatever. Pick Black, right? We're just the beginner style, right? Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. It's Black. It's not. But that strumming pattern, especially for beginners, might be out of reach, and it probably is out of reach. It's hard to process all those, you miss it down, and then you strum it up, and it's just a lot to think about when you're trying to think about this, and then count the time, and it's just too much. So just pick one strumming pattern to become so good at that it's completely a no-brainer, and until it's a no-brainer, don't move on to a second one. So that strumming pattern is, for today anyways, down, 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 up, down. Once that's a no-brainer, try this one. Don't try it. Make it a no-brainer. Down, down, up, down, up. That's usually tricky because it's hard to not strum a down and strum two ups in a row, coordination-wise, right? But the thing is, you're going to want to go down, down, up, down. But that's not right, because your hand, now I'm just going on it, this topic's just so huge, I just picked one thing to talk, because your hand and your foot, can you see my knee, should be doing the same thing. There are downbeats and upbeats, and your hand should know whether it's a downbeat or an upbeat. Quick, simple way of saying, don't worry if that didn't land, that it has to be down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. And it helps, for me anyways, to make some sort of noise when you're supposed to miss, so you've done something and not done nothing. So literally say to yourself, down, down, up, oh, I didn't say it. Down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. And then, how you practice strumming patterns. Do it twice in a row, do it 3 times in a row, do it faster. Play every song in 4/4 using that strumming pattern now, just so you can do it in all kinds of different contexts. And as you get better at any strumming pattern, you'll get better at all the strumming patterns. It'll become easier to learn all of them, and eventually you won't have to think about it so hard. Trust me, it's not probably going to be tomorrow, but eventually. Get really good at one strumming pattern before you move on. Whew, that was a long segment. Trust me, I could have gone on for an hour and a half. From Ahmed Irfan, a man I'm hearing a lot from lately. Dude hell, please reply if you get the time to do so. Here we are. I've been playing for a while, but I suck at improving. Is it because I'm fairly new to it, or do I just suck? I don't know what to do, and I'm very stuck. I love David Nutter's response. Thank you for taking the time to respond, David. Keep playing is the main answer. I've been playing for 20 years, and I feel I still suck too. Keep at it and have fun with it. Compare it to mountain climbing. Some days you'll feel like you've killed yourself to climb a few feet. Other days you'll feel like you conquer major peaks. Keep jamming, Ahmed. Apparently I have trouble reading David Nutter's handwriting. It's typed. It's typed. Few points. How do you get better at anything? Time, practice, patience. Ahmed, it sounds like you're lacking in the patience one. Be patient with yourself. Take a video of yourself today. Do it today. Playing a song, and do your thing for the next 3 months, and then see how you are compared to 3 months ago. I'll bet you'll be a lot better. And then you'll be encouraged and you'll be more patient, right? Second thing, I forget. Second thing coming. Time, practice, patience. So practice. How are you practicing? Are you practicing a whole song at once? That's not a great way to practice. The good way to practice is, just as an example, let's go back to Black, easy strumming version, right? We're not going to practice the whole song. We're only going to practice E and A. I don't know where you are, Ahmed, in your journey. You might be taking a minute to switch from E to A, but that's okay. Your job for a whole week, for example, is to switch from E to A with this strumming pattern. It might get a little boring after a while. Then only practice for 15 minutes. Don't, for God's sake, keep doing it if it's boring. After some amount of time, when you start to be able to do things where you're like, oh my God, that was so fun, you're going to sit down to practice and 2 hours is going to pass and you're not even going to have realized it. But don't make yourself sit there, for God's sake, if you're not having fun. The whole point of the thing is to have fun, and it will just sort of automatically over time become more and more fun. So do whatever it is that you find fun, and only do it for as long as you find it fun, and then put it down. But tip, leave your guitar out. Don't put it away. Just lean it up against the sofa, and when you're doing the dishes and then you're sick of doing the dishes and you walk over to do another chore or whatever, and ooh, I passed my guitar, then pick it up and play it for 5 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever's fun. Keep it fun. And then the last one, the first one, is time. Everything takes time. Getting better at golf takes time. Getting better at baseball takes time. Getting better at being an accountant takes time. But one thing you can do to speed up the time it takes is, first, just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the time. You get to sit down and play guitar, that's awesome. That's just awesome. There are lots of other things you could be having to do at the moment, but you get to play the guitar, so just be glad about that. But the second thing is, I forget again. Oh yeah, teach somebody. I don't know. I don't think I would ever gotten as good at the guitar as I am right now, and I have students who are better than me at the guitar because they put way more effort into it than I had the time to, because I was busy teaching everybody. Not many, two. One kid named Chance and one kid named Ryan. They're both doing great, by the way. Super proud of them. But teaching helps you learn because you have to understand it enough, you have to internalize it enough to be able to spit it back out at someone. So find somebody, Ahmed, who knows less than you or who doesn't know one thing that you know, and teach them that one thing, and then you will get so good at that one thing that you'll surprise yourself. And if you keep doing it over time, you'll keep surprising yourself, okay? And the last one is from Jamie Stewart, who would like to know more about what strings need muting, etc. while strumming. Again, huge topic, but just one thing about it, which is the rule that I call the rule. We're dealing with open chords right now. If you're playing an E chord of any type, E major, E minor 7, E minor 9, add 13, you strum from the E string down. E chord, E string. The other way of saying that is you strum all the strings, right? Because the E is the toppest one. If you're playing an A chord of any kind, A major, A minor, A7, A blah blah blah, you strum from, you got it, the A string down. So you strum 5 strings. Now that's kind of a pain in the butt if you're trying to do a strumming pattern, but you're not allowed to strum the E string. So what you do, usually, or maybe you might find another way, but this is what I do, just nudge your thumb up there a little bit, and then you can strum the whole guitar, and the E string doesn't make any noise. Similarly, when you're playing a D chord of any kind, D minor, D major 7, the aforementioned D. Well, you can't really do it with the aforementioned D, because we need our thumb thumb, but you'd have to be careful in that instance. But yes, you strum from the D string down, 4 strings on a D chord of any kind, unless like otherwise noted in the better man chord, D with an F sharp in the bass, but that's a whole nother topic. Regular open chords, same thing. You can now use your thumb to get both the E and the A strings. Heard a low F sharp in there, but yeah, plus a little more awareness with what's going on in your right hand. But sure, you don't want to be having to carefully strum while you're rocking your face off, right? And then there's the fourth part of the rule. Remember, we got E string for E chords, A string for A chords, D string for D chords, and the other part of the rule, which I call the rule, is if it's any other chord other than E, A, or D of any kind, you strum from the fattest string that's got a finger on it. So G, obviously you wouldn't be bothering to put your middle finger on the low E string unless you were going to play it. C has no finger on the E string, so you don't strum it. Do the same thumb technique so we don't hear it. What else do we got? We got F, little F, right? Fattest string is a D string, so just strum 4 for F. You can't really do the thumb trick. You just got to be careful. It's a dance. This is why playing guitar is so fun. It's a dance between your right hand and your left hand, coordinating the times. I'd imagine I actually have a public phobia of dancing, but not of speaking. Weird. But I would imagine that the reason people like to dance is the same reason I like to play guitar, because you have to do all the steps in time to make the thing happen and look or sound nice, right? Great questions, guys. Thank you so much. Let me know what you thought of this little format. It might be a, every 3 weeks kind of thing, or I don't know. Let me know. Thank you so much for being here. I hope maybe answered some questions or questions you didn't even know you had. See you next time with more stuff. Happy Monday, or whatever day it is that you're watching this. Goodbye.